We're getting deactivated on the word of a passenger that says we're drunk and swerving in the road.
Is it possible for somebody to be deactivated off a platform 12 times? Is that even possible? Or are people lying? Let's talk. Tony? Hey, you forgot to send me my check this week for talking about DoorDash and all these videos and the programs. I need my check, man. So I know that's why you're calling, because I've been blowing the email up. So send me my check. Send me my check for being a DoorDash show. Thank you. Now that we got that away, let's talk with the video. Listen. DoorDash terms of service and agreement came out for me. I did a short about it when I turned on my app this morning. It came up, and there's a lot in there. I accepted. I didn't read every single line item. I'm going to find out a way to go back in and get that information and read it. It's probably on a website or something. But deactivations, a lot of people get deactivated off these apps. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. We hear about DoorDash and Uber, I feel like, the most. Some companies like Grubhub, Shipped, other ones, you don't do it for a while, they just deactivate you and say, sorry, you're not active. And if you want to be active, maybe you can get back on. I've had friends of mine, people I know on YouTube, got deactivated. They've been able to get back on. Did they do something against TOS? Did they not tell us something? I don't know. But is it possible for somebody to be deactivated multiple times with no fault? I clearly picked a horrible time to make this video. The sun is in my eyes. We are in a choppy streets, but you get what you get when you come to this channel. It's real. I record. It's the sun. Listen, you get the elements. Hit the thumbs up. Let's go. So I'm going to insert a clip here from something I saw yesterday. I'm not saying this person is lying. I have no idea. I'm asking a question. You guys are going to be the community of people that can say cap or no cap. Okay, listen. So watch this and then we'll talk.
I've been deactivated a dozen times. Not
Oh my
once
God.
was it my fault.
Wow.
Not once. And in
So you're saying a dozen times you've been deactivated,
I've been deactivated on either platform.
even though you're a 4.9 driver.
5-star driver.
Wow.
I am Lyft's top driver of the year. And
Is that real? Or do some people embellish? You know, people have their psychology behind people, and when you get groups of people together and what they say and their psychology behind it. First thing I want to say is the companies need to do a better job of these wrongful deactivations and AI deactivating people or giving you contract violations or automatically assuming the customer's right about something that the rideshare passenger said or a customer didn't get their food. There has to be more measures in place to protect the driver so we can submit something and we can still earn while we have something submitted. And then if they come to find out we did something wrong, then we should be deactivated. That's number one. The companies need to do a better job of that. And with that being said, you let us know now, have you been deactivated on any platform and why? Now, I mentioned the terms of service updated agreement for being a DoorDash independent contractor. Have you read that? Do you know what that means? Are you going to read it? I think most of you guys probably are not going to read everything. I don't blame you. I'm going to go home tonight and figure out how to look at that to see if there's anything different. And I'll seek out a few people I know and say, give me your thoughts on this. Give me the cliff notes. What's the good? What's the bad? What do we really need to know here? Let's skim through because a lot of it's probably going to be the same. But we need to know that. Knowledge is power. We always talk about that on this channel. We need to know what the company can deactivate you for. Even if it's a minor infraction like an unpleasant interaction with a merchant or a consumer, you can get deactivated for that. Not using the proper equipment, you can get deactivated for that. Those are things a lot of us might do on a weekly basis, right? So there shouldn't be a surprise if it happens. So you do have to protect yourself. But the companies need to do a better job of giving us time to submit these appeals, okay? But this is where I'm going to challenge the community. Now that we can hold the company accountable and what they need to do on their end, what do we need to do on ours besides knowing the information? For me, the first thing is trust your gut instinct. If something doesn't feel right, if you know that you might be at the wrong place or the wrong customer, bad interaction, like you have to trust your gut, pause for a second, and don't act emotionally in a situation because you can obviously be kicked off of the platform and you can't make money. Always proceed with caution. Secondly, if you're deactivated 12 times, if you're deactivated half of that, 6 times, and you continue to work for that company and it was a wrongful deactivation, that is on you 100%. There's no way, in my opinion, somebody can be deactivated that many times without having some type of fault. It's impossible. There's no way. That's my opinion. So we have to proceed with caution when we hear people say, this happened to me, I did this. We tend to embellish, people tend to exaggerate, especially at a protest or an emotional time when we want to be heard and we want this, and we tend to do that. There's human psychology behind it. Now, if that woman was deactivated 12 times and she never did anything wrong, I feel extremely bad for her. But why are we going to continue to work for a company that would do that for you? At some point, we got to take that responsibility. Am I right or am I wrong? You guys let me know in the comments below. And what should the companies do? What can we do? Offer some suggestions. How should they handle when a passenger says a driver was drunk? A passenger says they were speeding. A passenger says they were rude or cussed me out or they harassed me. What should the company do? Should they pause that app so that if that is true, that rider that Uber rider doesn't do it to somebody else? There's some liability there. If a customer says Pedro did not drop off my order and there's no picture, no whatever, and that's happened, I've always done it. But the AI knows, man, this has happened. This guys have had 6 or 7 in the last 3 years, 4 years. I should get some grace there because look at the almost 11,000 or over 10,000 deliveries I've done. But if a customer's like, I don't have my food, what are you going to do about this? That support agent, that AI might just be one click away from saying, hey, you can't earn right now because you just stole. What should they do? What is the answer? We have no HR department. We have no protections. We're not a union. That's why some of y'all want unions. You want unionization so that there has to be a middleman to where, nope, just because that person said this or just because they said you didn't use a hot bag or the merchant said you were rude to them, I'm stepping in on behalf of Pedro. You can't deactivate him. We need to hear about this. But while we're hearing about it, he's going to earn some money. A lot of you guys feel like we need that. You guys tell me, do you fall into that? Or do you want to continue just to earn and be, because we're kind of beholden onto the AI and the consumer. We have very little control. In the moment, we can control our actions, but we can't control if a customer lies on us, if a merchant lies, if we forget to do something because we're busy, we forget to take a picture, we forget to do this, we forget to call DoorDash about this customer that was a little weird. There's a lot of things we control, but equally almost there's a lot that we don't as independent contractors. That's part of the gamble and the risk that we take in doing and having the freedom and flexibilities of being able to turn on an app and earn mostly when you want. What do we do? Do you want to be an employee? Did a protest yesterday show you that we need that? We need unionization. We need collective. We need legislation. Millions of people think that, but also millions of people don't want that. We're so divided right now, we probably can't even agree on this with whether or not this woman in the video was lying or not. And the person was like, oh, wow, you've been activated 12 times? Like almost like a wow thing. He didn't want to question her on it. We're so divided that I bet even y'all in the comments are like, I believe her. I don't believe her. She's lying. She's embellishing. How do we battle these wrongful deactivations when there's so many orders and so many of us that look at the app and work the app differently? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. So shout out to that clip was from the rideshare guy. Shout out to them. They did a great job of covering the protest yesterday. Whoever that was behind the camera doing the lives and stuff, I salute you. Great job of doing those interviews. But when I saw that clip, I happened to be watching when I was doing my live yesterday. I was like, 12 times? That is crazy to me. And then I thought, how many people have a similar story? Is this a real thing? Are people being deactivated that many times and still actually coming back? So it's wrongful, but then they say that it's not wrongful. Then you're able to come back and it happens again and again and again and again. I think of people like Bud Soda, Nova Dasher. I think of people, a few others, Dashing Trader. They've been deactivated. Nugs, deactivated. Half those guys deactivated wrongfully. The other two, they did things that technically and they knew they could possibly be deactivated. I'm trying to make a video and like somebody just keeps calling me. So what do we do? I don't know. I don't have the answer. I'm looking to you guys. It's not something I worry about, but I'm also aware. I need to know what's in that TOS and I need to make sure I move correctly, right? So that when I wake up, I don't have that thing on my interface. You can't work. You're deactivated. This is what happened. This is your appeal. And then I got to wait several months, in some instances, several months in order to get back on and earn. Is it something that you're worried about? Is it something that you think about? And do you think you have control over the AI and DoorDash and Uber and all these apps for them to take you off the app? A lot of moving parts in this gig economy. There's merchants, there's customers, there's AI, there's this, there's support, there's us, there's a lot of moving parts. And to me, it's almost kind of fascinating that we don't see more issues. I know there are a lot of issues, but with as many millions and millions of orders a day and probably at least 100,000 of people, if not more, working at any given time, I'm surprised there's not more people getting deactivated and more issues and more glitches. It's kind of weird when you think about it. That's my video. That's my thoughts. I don't think that woman's been deactivated 12 times. If I'm wrong, I'll issue a public apology. I don't see how that's even possible. And if I got to the point where DoorDash kept deactivating me and it was wrongful, you best believe I'm not going to work for a company that would do that. There's other ways to make money. There's no way I'd give them my time. There's no way I'd help them earn money if that's how they would treat me. You guys leave your comments down below. I'll see you tomorrow.
Not insurance. If they think it's good enough, then they'll give us a stipend.
Yeah.
I want insurance for us. I want no ride, and this is like a begging point. No ride should be less than $5 on our part, which is still not a good look for 2024. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now this is most important. If we have a problem with a rider and they, give us 1 star, and then we contact Uber or Lyft and we tell them the full story, and they say we want to keep the integrity of our platform.
Yeah.
And I say you want to keep the integrity by letting lies stand.
Yeah.
Because the passengers lie on us, it takes us months to work off 1 star. Months.
Yeah.
Now, I have great passengers as well.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But they need to at least consider our word. We're getting deactivated on the word of a passenger that says we're drunk and swerving in the road. And instead of them contacting us, right, to get our side, then basically what they do is they deactivate us. I carry 5 stars, 4.97 stars, right?
Yeah.
I've been deactivated a dozen times. Not
Oh my
once
God.
was it my fault.
Wow.
Not once. And
So you're saying a dozen times you've been deactivated,
I've been deactivated on either platform.
even though you're a 4.9 driver.
5-star driver.
Wow.
I am Lyft's top driver of the year. And
That's